This first video, I'd like to talk to you about a product called Steam-A-Seam, which is something that quilters have been using for decades. I was recently reintroduced to it by Marlene Glickman in a Zoom class that I took a couple of weeks ago. After I took the class, I kind of had a little scavenger hunt in my house to see what kind of things would work well in my new fabric collage project. And I found a box full of Steam-A-Seam, which is why I was able to put these kits together for you so quickly. If you ever get a chance to take a class with Marlene Glickman, she has her art on display at the Florida Craft Art Gallery right now, and she was generous enough to send me all the foil that I put in your kits for this little Zoom class. So I will have her name and contact information in the handout so that you can reach out to her. Steam-A-Seam has it's kind of a foil or a parchment paper on both sides, which is nice because it allows you to draw on it. I'm attempting to draw the arch in St. Louis, and so having this wax paper or parchment paper allows me the opportunity to draw. Then I'm just going to take some scissors and I'm going to cut out my pattern. I would recommend on the one that you guys do here in a few minutes. Make it something small. Don't try to do the arch and draw a complex, do a corner, little circle or something like that, okay? So I'm just going to cut out my arch. Now I've never done one like this. I've always done just a solid piece, so this is going to be interesting to see how it works. Okay, there's my arch, and my arch is going to go on top of my fabric, but first I have to remove the paper casing that's around it. One thing I learned in the class that we took a couple weeks ago that I kind of figured out on my own, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to peel and mine's coming apart because it's so old, but the stuff Marlene sent us was probably newer. So you can try to peel it apart like that, and then you're still going to have it on the back side. You need to get both of these pieces of paper off, and I found it was kind of easier to do rather than trying to peel it back. Kind of like if you're snapping your fingers, you put it in your hand and you try to slide it, and see how it pulled right off, okay? I'm going to put that back on there and back on there because I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to see if I can get, and you see I'm just snapping my fingers here, and this is going to be a bear, I can just tell. Okay, so I got the first one off, and then I'm just going to, again, I'm going to try to snap my fingers, and I'm able to pull that right off. I don't think there's a right side or a wrong side. I think the adhesive is going to be the same on both sides of the Steam-A-Seam. So now the trick for me is going to be, don't lay it all the way down at the bottom because I'm going to be sewing these probably together. So, alright, so there is my arch. Can you see that on there? And now these are the directions that I'm going to follow. Using a dry fusible Steam-A-Seam with a heat process, my iron, you're going to lay out your sandwich. So you're going to have your substrate right side up. Okay. Then you're going to have your Steam-A-Seam down on top. Then we're going to add our foil shiny side up. So let me go get the foil and we'll add that to the top. One thing you could do is you could use your paper from your Steam-A-Seam and put it down on top of your foil and cut your pattern from there. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to lay this directly down on top of my arch, and you can see I have the shiny side up. Then I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper that I've eco-printed on, because for the life of me I don't have any parchment paper in my house. I have my iron set to, actually it's to wool, so I have it set to wool. So I'd say a medium-high setting. I'm going to put this down on top, and I'm going to keep moving the iron, and I'm going to count to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to 12. 11, 12. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to take the parchment off. And I'm going to let it cool for a second because I don't want to burn my hands. And then I'm going to remove the foil. I haven't used this particular foil yet, so I probably should have tested all the foil that I sent you guys. And I'm being really careful because this is such a complex pattern. Holy cow, Batman! How cool is that? So this is going to go in my fabric collage that I'm working on. And then I still have this foil that I could use. So I'm saving this. I'm saving everything. Isn't that fun? Okay, I want everybody to prepare your substrates and let's get started. Again, here are the directions you're going to follow. Take a couple of notes. Hopefully you can see that. It's in the screen. It is. This will be in the handout that I'm sending you, but for purposes of today, please make sure you have your fabric right side up. Then you're going to put your steam-a-seam. Then you're going to put your foil shiny side up. Then you're going to use a pressing cloth or a piece of parchment, just in case you cut your fabric a little short and you don't want that steam-a-seam to attach itself to your iron. That's not going to be fun. Pretty cool, but wait, there's more. With this next square, I'm going to get a little more creative, and as those of you who know me know, I don't draw well. So I went to the internet and just searched for fish art, line art. The nice thing about this steam-a-seam is, like I said, it's on this kind of a parchment product. It's very see-through. So I'm going to trace this little fish onto my steam-a-seam, just the outline, and then I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to put it down on here. Then we're going to add a second color of foil on top of that. So stay tuned. I've gone ahead and adhered my first foil onto my fabric, and then I cut the fish out of the blue foil. I'm going to lay that right on top of what I've already done. I'm not using the steam-a-seam again. And I'm going to go in with the tip of my iron. I have this fancy little quilting iron that we used to, so yeah, it's nice and hot. Matter of fact, I might turn it up a little more. Yeah, we would press seams with when we were quilting. It's just a lovely little tool. I haven't used it in years. I'm going to see if this works. So I have my fish sitting here. And, oh, that's hot, don't touch that. Okay, I have my fish sitting here, and I don't know if this is going to work or not, so if it doesn't work, I'll just turn the video off and record over it. But I was going to try to, like I know his little, I'm going to go slow. I'm just drawing lines into the foil. And then I'm going to just pick this up and see if it's working. It's working. I just need to go a little bit slower. So let's put some little lines in his tail. Maybe I should do it on the side like this. Oh, that might actually work. But I'm thinking, since you guys aren't going to have this cute little iron thingy, let's just do what we're supposed to be doing. Move you out of the way before I burn myself again. Let's just do the tip of our iron, and we'll draw our fish face here, going slow, pressing down. Can you see what I'm doing? Went kind of fast there. And I'm just going to maybe try to put a couple little lines there. Couple little lines there. I went too fast there. And maybe I'll just do some squigglies in here in the fish body. You like my tail, Sarah? Sarah made fun of my fish. She made fun of my fish and said they didn't have a tail. She called them candy. I see how you are. You know I love you. Okay. Let's see what happened. Oh man, it worked. It's not the most beautiful fish in the world, but you know what? The point is you can take foil and put it over foil, and using the tip of your iron, you saw how slow I went. It's kind of ugly, but it's okay. It's kind of fun. So I could put this down again. Let's say I want to give them an eye. Let's just put that down right there. I'm going to take the tip of this. No, let's use what you guys have. Take the tip of this. Nope. Whoop, almost made a mistake there. It has to be shiny side up. Did it work? Oh, that's lovely. It's beautiful. Okay, it's about the technique. It's not about the design, thank God. Okay, that's kind of fun. So that's foil on foil. This demo will be very short and sweet, very short and sweet. This is a little eco print card that I did. I've cut a little strip of the Stitch Witchery. I've laid it down on top of the paper. I'm just going to take the foil, shiny side up. When I say shiny side up, maybe I should be saying the color you want side up, because I guess the back side could have a little bit of a shine to it. So right side up, maybe that's the way to say that. And then I'm going to press and count to 10. This time I'm not going to count aloud because I know you all know how to count. Okay, let's take the parchment off, and I'm going to pull the foil off slowly. And you know what? The foil stuck to the paper underneath. That's pretty funny. I'm seeing here where it's ripping a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and put the parchment down. I'm going to come at it from this angle this time. I have Eco Print parchment on top of Eco Print watercolor paper. Eco Print makes Eco Print. Let's try to take that off again. And it's working. It's not quite as dense, which I really like. So I kind of like the fact that it's has some spots that pulled away. And if you look closely at the Stitch Witchery, that's what it looks like. I'm wondering if you could kind of pull, yeah, now we're talking. You could kind of pull that stuff apart and distort it. And you could even have little gaps, and you can have all kinds of fun with this. So, there you go. Maybe not the best color choice, but you get the drift, right? One more, Eleanor, this is for you. This is the Pellon that I got from the class that we took last August at Taylor. By the way, I'm really looking forward to my class on, gosh, it's tomorrow already, and I got my kit, thank you very much. I just cut a little heart. I put these scissors down because this stuff really flies away, and it doesn't want to lay down. It's so fragile, I guess. Is that a good word? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I didn't even use the Stitch Witchery or the Steam-A-Seam. And guess what? It will pull up if I try. So my bad, I should have used the adhesive. Ooh, wow, look at me. I'm just going, oops, yep, that wasn't a good idea. So really a good idea to use that pressing cloth of the parchment. Actually, I kind of smell it burning too, so good experiment to do for you guys. Okay, but just wanted to show you that it works on the Pellon. I would still use the Steam-A-Seam or the Stitch Witchery, because if I worked really hard, you know, I would be able to pull that off. Although that's kind of cool, isn't it? So I just pulled this off. Part of it stayed right on there. Now I'm going to take my parchment and I'm just going to press over that. And voila. And that could be a really cool way to do some background design. Now, you know, I wouldn't do this on clothing, but if I was doing one of Eleanor's beautiful pieces, or if I was doing a collage or something that I was going to mount, or some art, I would totally do that. I think that's awesome. That was a mistake. I've just come up with a whole new technique. Okay guys, let's talk. I think there's a lot of ways we can apply this product, and I'm very excited to share this with you. Hope you enjoyed it.